All right, let's jump right in. I want you to think about something. If you had to pick just one single word, one word to define your absolute highest purpose, what would it be? In this explainer, we're going to follow a poet's incredible journey to answer that exact question. And you'll see how the answer went from something, kind of predictable to something way more powerful and mysterious.
So this is it. This is the big question from the poem You Rascal. And man, does it kick off a serious thought experiment. Imagine if everything you believed in, all your values, had to be boiled down to just one word. What would be left? This single question is what starts a quest that lasts for decades.
So, when you're faced with a question that huge, where do you even start? Well, the poet's first answer is a concept that I think feels pretty familiar to all of us. It's noble, it's righteous, it's kind of the cornerstone of what we think of as a good society. And for years, that single word was justice. It was the ultimate ideal, right? The highest star you could possibly steer your life by. And that makes total sense, doesn't it? Justice feels like it should be the bedrock of a good life.
But pay close attention to the definition here. For the poet, justice is this external thing. It's all about how we treat other people, honoring their rights, protecting our freedoms. It's a really noble set of rules for how to live in the world. But, and this is crucial, it's a guide you look to, not something you find within yourself.
But that answer didn't stick. After all those years of looking up to the star of justice, the poet comes back to that original question, and the answer changes completely. It is a surprising, honestly pretty radical shift in thinking. And look, this wasn't some sudden whim. For many, many years, justice was the word. But time, experience, it all led to this deep evolution in thought, and that resulted in a brand new guiding word for today. Magic. Yep, from the structured societal ideal of justice to magic. I mean, what a turn. What on earth could have happened to cause a change like that? And what in the world does the poet even mean by magic?
This slide really gets to the heart of it. You see, justice was external, a star you follow in the sky. But magic, that's an internal source. It's not about following the rules anymore, it's about activating a force. It's the difference between looking outside for guidance and realizing the power was inside you the whole time.
Okay, so this is super important. We have to understand what this poem means when it says magic, because it's a very specific definition. And to really get it, we first have to just toss out everything we think we know about the word.
And the poem is crystal clear on this. We're not talking about pulling a rabbit out of a hat. We're not talking about superstition or stage tricks. To get this concept, you have to forget all that stuff and think much, much deeper. So here it is. This is the core definition from the poem. Magic is a universal potential that's just sleeping. It's a dormant, charging force that lives inside everything. You, me, a plant, a rock. It's not something you go out and find. It's something that's already there, just waiting for you to wake it up. And check out the words used to describe this force. They're not mystical or spooky, are they? They're almost scientific. Metaphysics, probability, smart functionality. This points to a really practical kind of magic, one that's grounded in the basic laws of the universe. It's about tapping into the raw potential that's already woven into the fabric of existence. Okay, so if this dormant charge is really inside everything, the next question is obvious, right? How do you switch it on? How do you go from this hidden potential to creating real, actual change in the world? Well, the poem actually gives us a kind of three-step process. First, you have to see the charge. You have to recognize the potential is even there. Second, you apply a moral voltage. This is your will, your intention, your why. And finally, you have to manifest it through pure action, through sweat, tears of every hue. This is not passive wishing. This is active, hard work. And the goal here? It isn't just a little self-improvement. The point is, as the poem says, to change the outside and forever. It's about taking that power that's inside you and using it to make a real, lasting mark on the world around you. But just when you think you've got it all figured out, the poem hits us with one final, pretty provocative twist. This whole act of using your personal power, of turning potential into reality, it's framed as something profound, powerful, and maybe even a little bit rebellious. I mean, just think about that phrase for a second. A sacred cheat. It's such a paradox. How can something be both holy and a form of cheating? It suggests that when you activate this magic, you're fundamentally bending the rules of reality in a way that's both deeply meaningful and a little bit disruptive.
Wow, the imagery here is just incredible, isn't it? The idea that your personal will, when you actually use it, is so powerful that it can upset the godly realms, that is staggering. And it's not some violent attack, it's a sneaky touch, a subtle but world-altering shift. And so we're left with this one huge, lingering question. Is this sacred cheat, this act of realizing our deepest potential to change the world, is it a form of sin? Is becoming a creator in our own right a kind of rebellion against the way things are supposed to be? It's a powerful thought to end on, and it really forces you to think about the nature and the responsibility of your own dormant magic.